Is there ever an acceptable reason to go behind your loved one's back? My girlfriend Mindy is autistic, and when I first started dating her, she gave me the weirdest condition for being with her. I wasn't allowed to ride the subway. She told me a homeless drug addict jumped into the subway when she was little and culled her parents in front of her. And now the thought of a loved one going on them gave her panic attacks. My heart broke for her. So even though I took the subway to the gym every day and had no plans of stopping, I promised her I wouldn't for her peace of mind. For 3 years, I kept up the lie. Every morning I'd kiss her goodbye, walk to the bus stop until she couldn't see me, then duck into the subway. 20 minutes to the gym, work out, 20 minutes back. Then 2 weeks ago, I saw her, my supposedly subway terrified Mindy, walking through the turnstiles. I ducked behind a pillar, heart pounding. She wasn't panicking. She walked calmly to where the homeless vets sleep and handed one a coffee. He seemed so thankful when he drank it. At first, I thought it was so sweet of her to fight her fears to help homeless vets, but then the vet suddenly passed out. My jaw dropped, and it dropped even further when she started going through his pockets and pulled out his VA card and his benefits card. She placed them in her jacket, then stood up and walked along where she found 2 more veterans to do that to this morning alone. That's when I understood where her extra money suddenly came from. For months, Mindy had been contributing more to rent, buying expensive things, saying her online consulting was picking up. I went to the police that same day, but they said without proof of drugs or victims coming forward, they couldn't do anything. Document everything, they said. So I started following her. I had collected 23 videos of her at different stations committing the same exact pattern. But last week, something changed. Completely out of nowhere. She looked up while we were eating dinner and said, "My therapist thinks I'm ready for exposure therapy. Would you go with me to a subway station tomorrow just to stand on the platform?" My stomach dropped. Of course, baby. The next morning, she clung to my arm as we approached Union Station, the same station where I'd seen her drugging veterans. She was shaking and whimpering. "Let's just stand here for 1 minute," she sobbed. But through her performance, she was studying me. When the 8:15 pulled up, my train, she buried her face in my chest. "Does this train sound familiar?" "All trains sound the same, babe, I think." That night, she went through my phone while I showered. I keep the transit app hidden in a calculator folder, but she found something else. "Why does your Google timeline show you near stations every morning? The gym's above 1. GPS gets confused." She pulled up our bank statements. Daily $2.90 charges at 6:15 a.m. Protein shake vending machine. I lied. She called the gym to verify, and thankfully they had one I didn't even know about. 2 days later, I was on my regular morning train when I saw her best friend Lisa board my car. I turned away and pulled my hood up immediately. That evening, Mindy asked, "Lisa said she saw someone who looked exactly like you on the subway this morning. Weird, right?" Very weird. Soon, Mindy bought me a new gym bag with better compartments, but I found an AirTag sewn into the lining. I left the bag unused and kept using my old one. That's when she escalated the exposure therapy. "I need to ride one stop." She sobbed the whole time, but I felt her watching my hands, how I gripped the pole, how I shifted my weight in curves I knew by heart. When we approached my usual stop, I caught myself almost instinctively moving towards the door. She started setting her alarm for 5:45 a.m., pretending to turn it off and go back to sleep while I got ready. I caught her once following me to the door, watching which direction I turned. I turned towards the bus for looks. The next day, I found a mileage installed on my phone. When I confronted her, it was to track my fitness walks, but subway rides don't add miles like buses do. She was looking for discrepancies. Then yesterday, she stopped pretending completely. "I called your gym yesterday," she said suddenly at breakfast. My heart sank. "Oh yeah?" "Yeah, I asked them to check their systems, and they said you scan in every morning at 6:45. She then looked up at me. "But that's weird because you leave here at 6:15. Traffic's light that early. The gym is 15 minutes away by subway, 45 by bus." She was gripping her coffee mug so tight her knuckles were white. I mapped it. Silence. Mindy. "My therapist said I was paranoid. Said there's no way you'd betray my one boundary. The one thing I asked." Her voice was shaking now, so I tested it. "I had her assistant stand at the station yesterday at 6:15. I went stone cold. You walked right past her. Got on the 6 train I begged you never to take." Tears streaming now. 3 years, every morning. "You promised me. You take it too." I blurted out. She froze. "What?" "I saw you 2 weeks ago. Union Station. You walked through the turnstiles like it was nothing. No panic attack. And you drugged those veterans." The color drained from her face. "And I have videos of you doing it," I told her. "So tell me which one is worse. Secretly taking the subway or drugging and stealing from homeless veterans?" I stared at her intently. She was almost crying before she stood up slowly and walked to the window with her back to me. "There's something I need to tell you. What she told me changed the rest of my life forever." Full story on channel linked below.